with the most sincere devotion and love we fast. To be cleansed.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear Huda TV viewers. Hello and welcome to your program, Ramadan Changed Me. This is the 8th out of 10 episodes, inshallah, in this great holy month. Your program where we try together to be the best that we can be and invest in our relationships with Allah, with ourselves and with our communities. It is also the program where you can win many prizes with us, the grand prize of 20,000 Saudi riyals. And that can only be achieved by doing the self-development test for yourself at our website e.holul, that's e.holol.net. You do the self-development test, the pre-test, the ongoing test throughout the program, and of course the final grand test at the end of the holy month. 80,000 Saudi riyals will be available for 40 of you out there, including, as I said, the first grand prize of 20,000 riyals. You could also win with us a daily laptop by answering our daily Islamic trivia question that comes at the end of the show, by SMSing us at 002-014-327-1771. You can also make your contribution live with us by calling us on phone number 002-0238-555-248 or 249. And you can also email us at ramadanchangedme@huda.tv. Tonight's episode is entitled Being Positive and Keeping Steadfast After the End of the Great Holy Month, and not just during Ramadan. After all, we all want to say together at the end of Ramadan, Ramadan changed me. Ramadan changed us. Before we proceed with our guide and our brothers in the studio, we remind you of yesterday's question, and we want to announce the winner of the 7th laptop on Ramadan Changed Me. Yesterday's question was, what was the first battle fought between Muslims and Romans? And the choices were 1, Battle of Yarmouk, 2, Battle of Mu'tah, 3, Battle of Ajnadin, and the correct choice was choice number 2, the Battle of Mu'tah. And the winner is Brother Hafiz Bello from Ghana. Brother Hafiz Bello from Ghana, congratulations. You're the winner of the 7th laptop on Ramadan Changed Me. Still 3 laptops to go. Of course, if a laptop cannot reach you, you can get equivalent of cash, and that will be reaching you, inshallah. Now, it's time to introduce you to our life coach and our self-development trainer and psychotherapy specialist, Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And to our brothers in the studio who've been with us since the beginning of the program and will be with us through the end, inshallah. And we thank them really very much for this. Brothers Abdullah Adiyami, Amr Abdul Al, Ashir Saeed, and Sharif Hamdi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thanks for being here. Coach.
I think this episode would be something along the lines of keeping positive and steadfast after Ramadan. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of that matter, one of the reasons I actually left London or England in 1995 was to seek and find myself. I was too busy with people who knew me more than I knew myself. And I had to leave to go to a place where no one knew me and I never knew them, to find out the real me, how I react in situations with people I have no clue about and they are strangers to me. When I arrived at my destination, which should have been with the Aborigines in Australia, I ended up in Camp America in Michigan. And this was a camp for children who had who had been involved in serious violence or serious sexual abuse and whatnot. I was welcomed by people who I never knew at all. I never knew them. And within a few days, I was loved by the same people. But it was difficult for me to receive that love. Very difficult to receive. The love is there, but it's difficult to receive. I can't accept that somebody or someone or a group of people love me that much. I found it to be fake because of my life in England. So I thought to myself, actually, I was 28 years old and actually started saying things like a child would say, oh, you're going to give up on me too. That's the kind of attitude I had. You're going to leave me too. You're going to give up on me also. So my response to that was very fake. I said, yeah, okay, yeah, you love me, okay, I love you too. But it wasn't like, you know, the group, guys and girls were groups, and I wasn't practicing then at all. And I went, that's where I found Allah, really.
SubhanAllah.
Alhamdulillah. So I had to do something to actually challenge myself. I had to find myself. And one of the things that was available to me was an assault course. Now you may think, okay, that's a nice assault course. What's wrong with that? You're jumping over things like a leadership course where they teach you to overcome your fear. This, however, this assault course was 50 foot in the air. 50 feet in the air with a cargo net and tree-to-tree planks and ladders and slides and things. I was on a harness, obviously. And it was scary. It was scary. And I found myself saying, Ramiz, if you do this, you'll always be positive and find it easy to overcome obstacles. So I pushed myself. Even though I felt the fear, I still did it. And I said, if I'm going to die, I'm going to do it. If I get hurt, I'm still going to do it. I don't care. This is the breaking point of myself. And there was no one to actually tell me that I couldn't do it. And there was also people there that didn't tell me that I could do it. It was all about me. My mental state, my mindset. So I did it. Then challenging myself further, I did it backwards. I did it blindfolded. In any way that I could possibly imagine, that kind of challenge.
Amazing.
And I jumped off, no, not 50 feet, but I jumped off the step when they bring you down. And I would run around like a football player who just scored a goal. So people always say, well, what's wrong with that? You've just done, but for me, it was just an achievement. After that,
I feel like I want to see that now.
Sorry?
I feel like I want to see it on tape now.
I had it on video, but it's gone now. It was a long time ago. And I furthered my challenges to myself by jumping on a jet ski and telling the guy, when you ride forward full speed, when you turn, I'm going to come off. Because I love the feeling of jumping off and in the water, Then I did it with a V8 motorboat with a black tyre. And it was just, every step of the way, I was getting more and more positive. The turning point of my life, of being there, was when I found a proverb on the back of a sugar packet one night, making a cup of tea. And it said, and I still remember it now, and I wrote it down, it's better to try and fail and do nothing and succeed. Meaning, it's better to try and make mistakes than do nothing and succeed in doing nothing. Yeah. So it's better to go for it. And I keep thinking, I'm not going to achieve, I'm not going to achieve, I'm not going to achieve. And that was my turn. And I've
Sheikh, that there's also a proverb that says, it's better to have loved and lost than...
never to love at all.
Right.
Yeah. It's better to have and not need it than to need and not have it.
Mm-hmm.
And wallahi, I've never looked back since. I've never looked back. And yes, I've been in predicaments, I've been in situations, I've been lows, I've been highs, I've been fearful and full of guilt as well. But it made it easier for me to overcome these things. It made it to overcome the fear and the guilt. We all suffer from it, by degree. But I lowered my degree of getting over it by going on this, challenging myself all the time. And I'm still challenging myself. And brothers and sisters, you have to understand that when intentions become embedded in one's heart, nothing can happen but powerful, personal miracles within yourself. Mm-hmm. And I can vouch for that. So when Ramadan ends, and we see our friend taken away until next year, will we see our friend again? Don't let the shaitan come to you and say, don't worry, next year. Don't worry about the Quran. You can do it also next year. Because halfway through, I think we're halfway through Ramadan now. 15th?
Right.
I think 14th. You may have felt, oh, I haven't read much of the Quran. And the shaitan will come, okay, you might as well leave it till next year now, because you're not going to finish it. You won't be able to finish it in the next half, 2 weeks, whatever. But you can. You can. The question isn't you can't. The question is, will you or won't you? Will you at least try and make the mistakes in maybe not doing it, or do nothing and succeed in doing nothing? Succeed in not reading it. Okay, at least try. And the tawfiq min Allah, tawfiq min Allah, success from Allah.
Because who knows if we'll be alive next year or not.
So the things we can do to keep us strong after Ramadan, inshallah, as well as to next Ramadan, is set yourself a program to read Quran every day. Okay? Why you can't read 5 pages a day? Or 1 page a day? You telling me that no one can read 1 page a day after Ramadan? Or just 1 page? Alright? 1 verse. Subhanallah. Depending on your ability. Learn one hadith a day. Learn an Arabic word each day. Do one act of charity each day. Visit someone who's sick. Go to a janazah. I'm sure if you go to the mosque, they'll give it plenty when the next one's due, when it's coming, people have rang them up. Fast on Mondays and Thursdays. Stop your friends and family when they backbite and do something. And join the good and forbid the evil. At least the basics that you were able to do. And don't fear the blame of the blamers. Okay? Learn something new in the deen and give da'wah and education. Sponsor an orphan and be friends with them. Visit prisoners. Give them some kind of hope. You know, there's someone on the outside thinking about you. You know? Muslim and non-Muslim, not Muslim and non-Muslim. You can, for a Muslim to visit a non-Muslim, imagine you ring the prison up and I say, I'd like to come and do a visit. And I'd like to see 5 of your prisoners. They'll be happy to see you. And who are you? I just thought of just visiting you guys, because I'm sure you feel lonely or whatever. They might tell you to get lost, or they may say to you, oh, thank you for coming to visit me.
Indeed.
The other steps of giving are how to overcome guilt and fear. And this is very important, because we all suffer from it. And this will bring it back to actually the episodes 1 and 2 as a thing.
Coach, allow us to take that very important thought you just mentioned, how to overcome guilt and fear, to the second part of the show, because we have to take a very quick break right now. Stay tuned, dear viewers.
With patience for the sake of Ar-Rahman, a continuous training to strengthen our Iman.
Ramadan is the best time for the night prayer. All of us are supposed to change ourselves during the month of Ramadan because it's the best chance. Join us on Inspirations during Ramadan so that we can help each other to lift our Iman up and strengthen our hearts and get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. And Tajweed is a science that you cannot learn it on your own.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he told us that, you know, we're never in the extremes, that we're always between it. We're in the middle path. He told us to take this middle path. We're the nation of the middle path. Ummatan wasatan, down the middle.
Bear with patience for the sake of Ar-Rahman, a continuous training to strengthen our Iman.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear Huda TV viewers. Again, welcome to the second part of the show. As our life coach and psychotherapy specialist, Sheikh Ramzi Ibrahim, was saying, we'll be discussing how he will be guiding us on how to, and giving advice how to overcome guilt and fear, and said that takes us back to the first episode. Indeed, this is also a very continuous process. We talked about introducing yourself to yourself, making the intention to change, self-development, the techniques, and controlling anger and rage, and managing time and so on, talking here about being positive. We'll do that, but first we'll get this phone call from Manar from Canada, and Manar is an 8-year-old. Bismillahi ma sha Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Manar.
We as a family are listening to the program. I would like to ask about my sisters who want to change and listen to my mom, but they don't.
Manar, could you repeat again, please? Could you say what you said again?
We as a family are listening to your program. I would like to ask about my sisters who want to change and listen to my mom, but they don't. They have positive attitude, but they don't follow it. What advice will you give to me and my sisters?
Bismillahi ma sha Allah. Thank you. Thank you, Manar. And we'll also take this phone call from Sumaya from Saudi Arabia, and then Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim will be replying. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sister Sumaya.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, in a few days I'm become your biggest fan.
In a few days, or
may Allah bless you. I like your speech, and it's very short time, and I want to see you in other shows of the Huda TV.
Inshallah.
But my question is that, Sheikh, some people think positive about themselves, but they think negative about other self. What's the reason behind this?
Right.
Can you repeat that again?
I got it.
One thing more.
Okay, Sister Sumaya.
Can you give me your number?
Right. That could be, you could reach, of course, dear viewers, you could also reach Sheikh Ramiz Ibrahim via the program mail, RamadanChangeMe@huda.tv, and of course also from the control in our studios, in his personal email. Of course, he does, his specialty is life coaching. Thank you, Sister Sumaya. Sister Sumaya was saying that in a very few days she became one of your biggest fans. And also, she was asking, why is it that sometimes we become, we have a good perspective of ourselves, positive about our own selves, but not about others. But we want
others having negative against us. We think good about ourselves, but not about others.
Exactly. But first we want to answer Manar from Canada.
Manar was asking about obedience or something?
Yeah, she was saying that she wants to change, and they as a family all want to change. So what advice, but they're finding hard to do. So what advice would you give to her, to Manar and her sisters and
well, I think it's a general view. I mean, the first point we have to notice here is that they've made the intention, they want to change, by saying, verbalizing, we wish to change. Next question, how do we change? This is a long process, and the process will start once you found out more about yourself, things you wish to change about yourself. I think we did, I think number 3 or 4 episode, or 5 I think, we were going, number 4, I think, we're talking about steps and exercises of how to find out more about yourself. To actually notice what is wrong within yourself and change, and having baby steps towards the change of that particular thing you don't like about yourself or you wish to change about yourself.
But definitely things are very right with Manar and her family.
Well, alhamdulillah, for an 8-year-old to actually ask that question, I think you have no troubles whatsoever, and the future won't be bleak, but inshallah, by permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll be successful. You've already started at such a young age, inshallah. The second question is why sometimes we look at ourselves positively and when we look down upon others. If it is that way, then I'm sorry, but that is arrogance. You feel yourself special, and you think yourself good, but you look down upon others. But the more you have mercy, the more you feel powerful, the more you... It's like if you can crush an ant, and then you crush it, do you think you've succeeded in something? No, you should have more mercy on others, so that you can know more about yourself.
But I'll tell you something, Coach, about this very specific question from Sister Sumaya. It does come to our minds a lot. One of the things about being positive is not just about being positive about yourself, but also having a will to change those around you to the better. So sometimes when you think that you know what's best for your family, for your very small inner community,
yes.
And you want to change them, you're really working hard on that, but you can't. You get frustrated, and you sometimes you don't look.
You have to check your intention. Is it control? Do you want them to change because you said so? Do you want them to change because you said so? Who are you? You change yourself with the right intention, and they will change. If you don't have mercy on those on the earth, the ones in the Sama'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not have mercy on you. And you have to. The more powerful you get within yourself to know yourself, the more you should know that others need that power as well to empower them. You can't empower them with your positiveness if you're gaining positiveness with yourself and you're looking down and bring everybody else down. Abdullah.
We had a family value growing up with my mum. It was that all fingers are not equal. So sometimes we shouldn't judge people as if they are ourselves, because I have my own standards and our children or our families do not have similar standards. I'm teaching them, but they have certain abilities. So we should not look down upon anybody, but in fact encourage them, should always try to encourage the people around us, because everybody has his own level, and he may not be able to pass that level ever. So you have to give him his full power in his level.
Within his capacity. I mean, the difference between sympathy and empathy. If you sympathize with someone, say, oh, poor thing, and you carry on. When you empathize with someone, you walk alongside with them to feel what they're feeling, doing what they're doing, and just guide them along the way. And that's what a life coach does. In tradition in Islam, every child had a murabbi, a trainer, a pedagogue, to actually train them as they were growing up. How to approach the parents, how to debate, how to ask a question, how to answer a question. We don't even know, we haven't even got the etiquettes of asking a question in the halaqas that we have sometimes. In London, especially, people are just talking over each other. They don't respect the knowledge, they don't respect the sheikh, they don't respect the alim, they don't respect anyone. Because they're enough say, me, I want to speak. And I'm interested in learning, because I want to hear my voice. Basically. Amr.
Yeah, I think that this something about seeing, looking down to people, this is a bad thing that happened to most of us because of our arrogance. We think that we are the best persons, and all people are down, are less than us. I think that we need to change this in us. We don't have a strong intention to change.
That's right, intention again. Anything, Ash?
I think with the question for the sister, I think what happens is that people look into themselves and they know what their good points are, and they know what they're good at and what good aspects of their personality that they have. And when they see these things are not present in the other person, they automatically think that they are better than them. And I think what we should do is look for traits in other people which are good, which we don't have, that will redress the balance.
That's right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Sharif, anything
that's
like that?
secure.
I think I believe that if I see myself in a higher rank than the others, and I make mistakes, I will not be able to see these mistakes. But if I think about it, and I don't put myself in this high rank, inshallah, I will be able to see my mistakes, and I will abandon them later.
Sometimes we don't like what we see in other people, because we recognize the negativity that's really within ourselves. It's a mirror. So when you're telling a child, don't do that, your own child or some family member, it's something you don't like about yourself.
Indeed.
So you're actually trying to knock it out the way, because you don't want to deal with it right now. They brought it out. And that's easier done than to notice the positive in other people, because we don't really love ourselves, we don't know ourselves. If we know ourselves, not entirely, but in a nice way, in the positive capabilities, then we're trying to find them capabilities in others. If we can't, we have to guide them along to have those capabilities that maybe, and then in turn, what you will see in others is the positive that you want to see in yourself. That way it will reflect back on you. But if you continue seeing the negative in another person, you're not going to evolve. You're not going to move on.
Sheikh, because we only have 2 or 3 minutes left, unfortunately, could you give us quick advices on how to overcome guilt and...
It's just a few pointers that I put down. I'll just quickly go through them. Recognize your place in the world and who you are. Okay, where did you come from, where you are, and where you want to be. Now, the first point I would ask everyone tonight to reflect upon, viewers, is وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That I do not create man or jinn except for worshipping me. Look at the tafsir of that and find the hadith that goes along with it, the Quranic tafsir that goes along with that, and work on that basis. And print it out and read it every day and try and practice it and reflect on it and what you need to do. Where you are, where you were, where you are, where you want to go, or where your destination is. We must recognize our Creator before He points out to us about our pride. What can I contribute to my family, community, and for the whole world? Secondly, recognize the blessings you have on a conscious and a subconscious level. When you remind yourself of the things that are good in your life, however small or insignificant you think they are, it makes a difference in maintaining positive attitude. Okay? And this starts the process to attract bigger and better things to you. Thirdly, never forget the Creator of the whole universe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Azza wa Jal, believes in you. Okay? He believes in you. Okay? The need to feel accepted by others and to fit in is perfectly normal. But for recognition from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more important. Because the recognition from others, it really boosts up your confidence and your ego and makes you feel good in this dunya as a human being, you're recognized. But the recognition of your Creator about yourself, about the believer, is important to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That should give you more of a positive attitude. That not just to human beings, but the Creator When I mention Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentions my name to a group better than the group here, and that's the group of the angels. SubhanAllah, who am I? Who am I? A mountain is more significant than I am. It holds the world from toppling, etc. What am I doing that the mountain that can do better than the mountain is doing? Never forget the Creator. Practicing using good names for yourself. So we tend to be potentially humble and don't like to say that I'm good. I do love myself. I am love. I am this. I am that. I want to have love. I want to have positive attitude to myself. I can do this. You know, I do help people. I'm generous. I'm merciful. You know, Allah is Ar-Rahman. He is the source of mercy, but we can be merciful. But there's a big difference, obviously. Instead of saying to yourself, I feel depressed, and you should stop, recognize that you just feel, I feel down, I feel depressed. It's good. But instead of saying that, you say, I'm feeling a little down right now, but in a few hours I'll be all right. And then switch to saying, what's your favorite ice cream? Completely somewhere away, just, I feel down right now, but I'll be all right in a few minutes after a cup of tea. And then you leave it. Believe me, once you make the affirmation, you leave it, have the cup of tea, and automatically you've affirmed that affirmation will manifest. You'll feel better. Natural endorphin. It's like when you have 2 hours of training, you feel good. That we train your mind mentally in that way.
We are children, aren't we?
Of course we are.
We are big children.
Of course we are. I'm the biggest. Be friends with negative thoughts. Don't ignore them. Okay? Don't ignore them. Recognize them for what they are. All right, I'm feeling... it's like the shaitan waswasa. In psychology, it's called the bipolar depression, where you could never feel good about yourself. You have these thoughts, you're no good, you're not an achiever, you're a dreamer. You can't... and then, obviously, it's easier to bat them away now in the month of Ramadan. After Ramadan, it's going to get worse. It's worse. Just a couple of more. Make things happen. Do not belittle any small action. Activate your plan. Okay? No matter how small it may be. And I'll leave you with two, is that you have a choice of being two people on Judgment Day. You can be like the person that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about Hal Tadrun al-Muflis, that do you know who the Muflis person, not the poor person, the bankrupt person. And the Sahaba radhiyallahu anhum ajma'in said, oh, it's the person who has no dinar or dirham. He said, no, it's the person who will come on Judgment Day and all his fast and zakat and the prayers and everything. He'll find them as far as the eye can see. But what will happen is look on the left and you'll see a queue of all the people that he's abused, he's backbitten, he's slandered and everything, and they're going to take all the good deeds and they're going to go down like a bank account does.
Sheikh,
okay,
we have to leave it here. Thank you very much, Sheikh Ramz Ibrahim, a life coach. A special thank you to our brothers Abdullah, Amr, Ashir and Sharif. Dear viewers, just enough time to squeeze in today's question. Today's question is, what is the last Quranic verse to be revealed in Mecca? Was it 1, An-Nasr, 2, Al-Kahf, 3, Saba? You SMS us your answer at 002-014-3271-771. You write your name, your country, and the number of the correct choice. Again, what is the last Quranic surah to be revealed in Mecca? 1, An-Nasr, 2, Al-Kahf, 3, Saba. Good luck to all. Until we meet again tomorrow, same time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Glory be to Allah who sent Ramadan as a mercy to mankind. It's a purification of our soul, our heart and our mind. Bear with patience for the sake of our Rahman. A continuous training to strengthen our Iman. With the most sincere devotion and love we fast, to be cleansed and free from sins of the past.